As always, guys, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Also, hit that bell to be notified for future videos.
Hey, what is up, guys? Welcome back to the fish tank for another video. Today we are working on this ratty looking Hot Wheels Gremlin. And the dealio today is to do another podcast style video where we're going to talk about what me and the old man did with this pretty worn out and beat up looking gremlin. So guys, I hope you guys enjoy the video. If this is not really the type of video you want, you're more than welcome to watch another. Alright guys, let's jump into it. So guys, like we talked about right before we jumped into this video, today is another podcast style video. So if that doesn't really interest you, you're more than welcome to skip this video and go to a different one. So like I was saying before, we were working on this mid 70s, maybe like 75, 76. If I'm wrong about that, please let me know. Style AMC Gremlin, and it is a CDC and Old Man Special. So if you guys are new to the page, a CDC and Old Man Special is pretty much when I and my father build a car. And what we decided to build today was this Pacer. Gremlin. Oh my god, I'm thinking of the wrong car. My bad. This Gremlin. So we had probably 4 or 5 different choices what we wanted to work on, but we decided to go with this. And the general idea that we had for this car was to restore it and make it pretty again. But right before that decision was made, the car was already stripped, and I already polished it to the point where it looked like chrome on a brand new car. And what I noticed was on the driver's rear panel was damaged and corroded. So it wasn't really damaged, it was actually just corroded away. I believe this car, or this casting, was sitting in a sandbox for a long period of time. So what happened was the whatever got to it pretty much just ate the car alive, and it caused it to just, deform itself and pit and just not look the same. And it just didn't work out for me or my dad. So our idea of completely restoring it to make it look really nice kind of just didn't work out. So what we decided to do was, I was going to clean this car as best as possible, and we're just going to put a layer of paint on it. And the layer of paint that we went with was this like plum crazy purple that we had. It was just from Rust-Oleum's. It was in one of their big rattle cans. And we kind of sprayed it on heavy because I just wanted to see what it would do. And this is the result. So I do want to apologize, guys, before I go any further, that I do apologize that we don't have many video clips at all for this video. It's because it was one of those videos that I didn't really think it was going to be a video, but since I started doing this like podcast quote unquote style of videos where I just show images and some video footage, it ended up working out. So if you guys also didn't see the clips that I put on my YouTube and my Instagram, there is some clips of this car out there, but it's not much, so I rather just tell the story. Anywho, like I was saying, we painted the car this purple, and I wanted to see what would happen. And since it is that thicker Rust-Oleum's paint, it did fill in some of the spots, but it didn't fill in all of them, because I was just curious. I just wanted to see if it would affect anything too much to the point where we might be able to still like restore it with paint, because the plan was just to, if that was the case, to just take this apart and strip it again and start over. But sadly, you still saw all the imperfections, and it just didn't look bad, so we went with the rat rod style that I talked about before. And what we did was, we just started out with this base because I thought it would be bright enough to make our powders that you see on the far right there work. But when we clear coated it for the first time, it really just it didn't work out, and it just didn't look right. So I was like, all right, you know what? Let me take a crack at this, because my dad, he was the one that was doing all this. I was just giving him ideas and stuff, how to generally just put this car together, just tips. And I was like, let me take a crack at this. And what I did was I added some accents with like a brown like rust prevent primer on some of the fenders and different parts that might like rust out and be replaced over time. And I did that, and then I did a heavy coat of like sand and dirt uh, powders, and then we clear coated it again. And believe it or not, the paint that I put on top cracked and split some of that paint that I put over top of the purple paint, and it really gave it a cool effect. Once that was all drying and stuff, guys, we focused on the base and the wheels. And what we did for that mainly was we went with a set of what do you call it, repop red lines, and that really make the car stand out. You'll see it at the end. But we went with red stock repop red lines for the wheels and tires, and we also cleaned and polished the base as best as we could, and I think it turned out honestly fantastic. It took a while. I remember it was like 3 or 4 goes with Mother's polished. I know I should probably just use Fitz or something else, but that is just what I had on hand, and it worked out, so I can't complain too much, you know. So when that was all said and done, we did slap a Cuda's Diecast Customs logo on it, and then we did color in the exhaust with the chrome pen. So it was an awesome little build. It was really fun, and it was just one of those builds you're just like, we're just gonna go with it, you know. It's just one of those ones that you don't really have like a general idea what's gonna happen, because everything that you thought you could do just wouldn't work. So you kind of just had to improvise and go a different direction with what you wanted to do. And believe it or not, this process for this project was probably about, I'm gonna say about 2 months, because it was just sitting in the prep box. So I have this little box that says Cuda on it, and it's mainly where the projects go that I start but have to put on the back burner for a while. And it was one of those things I was just like, let's get it done. So I believe it was over winter break, and we were just like, we're gonna finish this car, and we did. Guys, that's pretty much all I got for you today story wise. So if you guys want to stick around, we are going to see what we started with, and then we're going to see the final result. I'll see you over there. Okay, guys, just a brief little recap of what we started with. So this is what we started with, guys. It was a late 70s Redline AMC Gremlin, and it was pretty beat up. It was pretty ratty. You can see that the base was attempted to be cleaned at one point, and this car really needed a freshen up, or a freshen down, as some might say. So guys, this is what we started with. Let's go see what we finished with. Alright guys, I'm gonna go jump over there so you guys can see. This is our final result for the Ratty Gremlin to even more Ratty Gremlin, the old man special. So as you guys see, we the car is honestly even worse in some ways than it was before, but it's one of those worse situations that are better, if that makes sense, or it makes it better, because I believe this car just, it screams rat rod. It screams hot rod, especially with that big engine, and especially with just all the effects that we did with this car. So like I said, we put those aftermarket red lines on the car, and we did the paint, we cleaned the motor, we shined up the base, we did all the details front and back, and it was just one of those builds that I'm glad I was able to do it with my dad and build a pretty cool car. So guys, thank you very much for always stopping by. Guys, I hope you like the video. I know it's not the same as we normally do, but sometimes, like I said, these builds are just supposed to be personal builds that I end up taking enough photos and videos of that I can make a little collage in this podcast style video for you guys. So with that said, if you guys like this video, please give it a thumbs up and a like. That's the same thing. But if you liked it, guys, please comment down below and like it as well. Alright guys, I'll see you in the next one. Thank you very much, guys. Bye.